We'll hop on over to the Alivast Orcale.
Let's go!
Hey!
So what we do here is we pick a couple articles to read from the Alivast Orcale. This is issue
And
6,
we read them.
8, 7. Yep, and then we read them.
So I have a question before we start.
Uh-huh.
So we're gonna do the letters to the Lady of Livrosia, right?
Oh, always.
Okay, but here's my question: am I still? It's a very different world than the last time I was on this stream. Am I still allowed to do the lady?
You're certainly welcome to do the lady if you want to.
Okay, I apologize in advance then. Especially to you, Mark.
Why? I'm not a lady.
You'll see.
Well, in that case, I think we should get started here. I'll read Curious Crystal Causes Conundrum.
I would love to read Pigeons Pilfer from Pretzel Purveyor.
Absolutely.
I wanted to read that one too. Do it, Mark.
Of all the heralds of the return of the cultist victims, none were more surprising than the addition of a second satellite crystal around to the floating attic. The crystal, similar in size to the first, emerged when the tower it was reportedly housed in collapsed recently. How it came to be, however, has been a question for many. This isn't something that we have seen a lot of, Narasman Collective cleric Boris Norton stated. We have checked all magical possibilities as to how it came to be. Our results at this time are inconclusive, but we will pass information to higher collective clerics or to our leader, Mr. Enrobso, if the need to. The crystals have always been a bit of a curiosity, floating in the sky since the landing and founding by Christopher Canary. The attic has been a steadfast sentinel as Alivast was built. There has been very little change as the years went on, until the eclipse 2 summers past. The attic unexpectedly sank and fell slack against the chains, restraining it from floating further away. No one knows the cause as to why it slacked, nor why the attic returned to its normal state a year past. It was weird how the attack sank, then rose, claimed Taylor Madeline Varick. I, for one, thought the attic would fall upon the city and leave nothing but crushed rubble. I feared I would wake up one day and find myself buried in the remains of my shop. As with before, no one from the Narasman Collective were able to ascertain what happened. Several other clerics from other members of the Pantheon have checked as well, with nothing giving any results as to whatever has been going on. However it happened, it is beyond the machinations of man, to what anyone knew. Then, just last autumn, another crystal appeared, destroying a tower in the process. The actions of these crystals have caused several to theorize what their purpose is. Some speculate the attic is collecting buried crystals, and more will emerge in the coming years. As the attic grows, others believe the crystals to be something divine in nature. Then there are conspiracy theorists who believe everything from a secret Null invasion to the Council gathering magical power. I've heard rumors, and I have a theory of my own. Courtney Matheson, noted guild conspiracy theorist, stated, I don't know about you, but something is fishy about those Unexpectables, and I'm not talking about their chef. Thinking about it. They mysteriously disappeared during the eclipse. It ends and the attic goes slack. Then they go out a few times. The attic resumes its normal altitude. Twice, they leave. Someone comes back with some weird porcelain object. Crystals appear next to the attic. Could be a coincidence, but I'm putting gold down on something behind the Unexpectables and a link to our floating ornaments. Whatever you may believe, one question does remain. Where did these crystals come from? And what is their purpose? Whatever the answer, we here will continue to research and pass on any information as it becomes available. Woohoo!
All right. Cool. Let's go. Pigeons pilfer from Pretzel Purveyor. Last night, after the applause and cheering of the returning dragon cult victims, a strange scene was spotted in the lower Druid district. Many of you are likely aware of Ron's pretzel cart and its popularity among a certain lower district captain. Last night, a spectacle was spotted in the district as numerous pigeons covered the branches of nearby trees, watching the cart causing a general sense of unease in the customers, and was even reported to a nearby guard. As the night grew on, the pigeons had done something never thought possible, as Ron had finished his latest and last batch of pretzels for the night. Several muscle-armed birds had landed next to the cart as Ron was right there. When he went to shoo them away, they swarmed and picked up his pretzel cart. Ron described the scene as similar to the skies during the dragon attacks, with hundreds of pigeons swarming and taking every ounce of dough from the cart. But just as quickly as it happened, they all flew off, dough in beak and talon, leaving a desecrated cart in their wake. They were everywhere as soon as it happened. It was all gone. They were like piranhas, quick and efficient. This is gonna set me back badly. Ron had to close the stand today to prepare pigeon countermeasures.
Oh dear. World War Pigeon.
It begins.
Also, I always love that they always find ways to use alliteration cleverly in this.
Yeah, that's a requirement in newspapers, man.
Yeah. Trust me, I know.
That's what makes it fun.
Who's next?
All right.
I don't know. Do we want to do some letters?
We sure can.
Hell yeah. Hey, Mark, I only have one. You should do the elderly gentleman, and you know the voice.
I'll do the elderly gentleman.
Thank you, sir. You could also do tall, dark, and confused, because that kind of describes you.
That's racist.
No, you're confused.
Oh, okay.
Jesus.
Am I doing both
Alright.
of them then? Is that what's happening?
You can do whatever
if you want to.
I don't want to take away from Connor. Do you want to be shook up jelly?
I'll take shook up jelly.
Oh,
Take shook up jelly, and you could also read another article if you want.
Dear Lady of Livrosia, I recently came to Alivast as a refugee from the Underdark and have met people that have helped me adjust. I think the word is friend? I enjoy spending time with these friends, but every time I meet with one of them, a kobold, my heart beats faster. My head feels strange and my hands grow warm. I do not know what to do. The others do not seem to notice, and when I do not see her for many days, my heart starts to hurt. Is this normal? Has she cursed me with some kind of kobold magic? I do not want to break from these new friends, but I am afraid of these strange feelings. Please help. Signed, Tall, Dark, and Confused.
Dear T-Jack, I love you! Sounds like you have a new friend who puts our heart aflutter. You can do is spend some time with her to get to know her a bit better. If you are comfortable enough, you could always ask if she wants to join you and meet up for tea and pastries, or a pit fight, or a livestock auction, or any other activity that you think you both might enjoy. The best way to figure out your feelings for someone is to talk to them and spend time with them. Ask her what things interest her, or what she likes to do in her free time. Even before setting up a date for an outing, you can take a measure of the situation by asking those types of questions. If she enjoys spending time with you, then keep on keeping on. And before you know it, you might have love.
I now know why you apologized.
I did.
Apology not accepted, but
It's an established tradition. Leave me alone.
it hurts me.
It
Hurts
does
me a
hurt
lot.
me, I know. That only makes me grow stronger, though.
Now I have to double check which voice I'm supposed to use that you think you know I'm going to use for the elder
Oh,
gentleman.
well, here we go.
Dear Lady of Livrosia, I am a gentleman in the autumn of my I can't read. I am a gentleman in the autumn of my years, and while I first came to Alivast, I was still seeking adventure. Now I am wanting to simply settle down and enjoy what I've earned from my treasure hunting days. I've been looking for companionship because I wanted to find some company for this time of retirement, but I've run into a problem. Most of the people in Alivast are actually quite young. Yes, there are a few older folks like myself, but they always seem to have partners that immigrated to the city with them. Yes, there are plenty of single young people, but frankly, I'd prefer someone more mature. Do you have any suggestions where I could find available older folks in my area? Signed, Elder Gentleman.
Dear elder gentlemen, I love you! It's always a challenge to find people you mesh well with. And a lot depends on simply finding a social network that connects you to others with similar interests, or, in your case, age. If you aren't active already, there are a lot of groups for older folks that focus on certain hobbies or pastimes. Or you could check out the opera, since you strike me as a fairly cultured individual. Bridge clubs and bingo halls also cater to older sets, as do clubs that have formal dancing. You may not find the love of your life right away, but you can meet others in your age group and they might be able to introduce you to someone they know that might enjoy your company as much as you enjoy theirs. Also, construct additional pylons.
You bastard. Sneak that in there.
Yeah. God, I haven't done this voice before. I can even see the chat. I feel weird about this voice. I forgot how many people weren't here the last time I did this. Oh, God. The Miss Cleo lady. All right, Connor, you're up.
Lady, I am constantly feeling harassed and offended by people who make certain assumptions about my sexuality and romantic interests by the way I look. When I first came to this city, I gave people a lot of grace. But over time, it has really been wearing on me. It has been stressing me out. When I meet someone, it seems like I always have to explain myself. And more often than not, they really don't seem to pay attention. I feel like only people only see my outside, they don't really consider my insides. My insides are mainly a few floating rat bones, scraps of cloth, and loose coins. I find in the sewers because I am a gelatinous cube. How could I get people to see the real me? Sighed, shut up, jelly.
Dear shooked up jelly, I love you! I know how it is difficult when people don't see the real you. Don't feel like you have to explain yourself to everyone. You don't owe them an explanation if you're not comfortable giving it. Often we have to ignore what other people think of us. And in your case, they're probably thinking, that gelatinous cube wants to absorb me into its body and slowly digest me with its acid. I'm willing to bet you get a lot of that, but it does not make it hurt any less. You may need to get out and meet some people who are less judgmental. The sewers are not the best place to meet a diverse cross-section of the city. Maybe visit a library or one of the city parks.
I love that she just suggested to a gelatinous cube to go to a library.
Yeah, you should go to the library.
That seems like a good idea. Just
Also, guys, we
shove
failed.
that cube in there.
There was Vor in this episode. We failed.
Oh God!
Damn it.
Ah, we screwed up.
And before we sign out here, let's take a look at some of these ads here.
Hell yeah.
Oh God! Interested in horns or antlers? Come on down to the Romantian. We have all kinds of friends and fiends who are horny and have a great rack.
Yes.
Well played.
Ah,
Well
I
played.
see.
Oi, ladies, do you like orc? Big buff orcs of the Ironclaw tribe are single and ready to make you married. P.S. No backshes to the north.
So good. Fucking Borky.
Beautiful.
Oh God!
Brought to you by Wogger Purse Snatcher, the richest orc in Alivast. Orc vestments, let me tell you how to spend your gold. With the recent attacks and rebuild of Alivast, most of you small-minded folks are probably thinking the lumber and steel trade is where the gold is these days. But those who know a thing or two about pillaging is that houses are easy to replace, but glass is where the time takes place. For every house that takes a day to replace, it will take at least 2 days for the glass to get made. That production takes time and valuable resources, which brings up the cost. and that not counting all the pretty colored glass for the temples.
So is this
Evans
a
Cup,
complaint?
buy one get one
or-
free on all regular size cups. I'm Captain Bronzefang, and this is my favorite coffee shop in Alivast.
I believe.
Noise.
Yep, I believe that is it for this edition of the Alivast Oracle, and for this edition of the Alivast Art Gallery as well. The credits for the Alivast Oracle are, as always, Rexasar7, WX Chuck, Froggy's Mom, Jim the Rabbit Cow, Rylberg, Noodle Laser, August Christopher, and Ultreos, as well as MG DeVere.